thing?
Man, they had Chuck's Bakery in St. Ansby.
Chuck's.
So Mr. Chuck's, they still have Chuck's Bakery in St. Ansby.
Well,
So he
we
would
got
come
bread
up.
from Small's Bakery in Bamboo.
Oh yeah, I know that
Wait,
name
but
too.
soon go back to Small Bakery. Let me just go a little bit on Chuck's Bakery. So,
Mm-hmm.
what was that delivery like? What was the vehicle like?
All right, so it was like one of those humpty shaped minibus kind of thing.
One diff, Miss Cutie. Miss Cutie, bell soon ring. One diff, bun and cheese.
Why is it called diff though?
Don't
Don't
ask
know.
me. It's a Fern Court thing. Tell us about it. If you go to Fern Court, you know this. And if you go as far back as Miss Cutie, she seems to have been the main person in there. I know Mayflower used to pass through Golden Grove.
Okay.
The
We
same.
had one early in the morning. That's 6 o'clock. Yeah. North Star was 3, 4 o'clock. Yeah. Mrs. Jeff, they never had names
per
like,
se, just
well, you know,
the name
Mrs.
of the
Jeff'
person's
sister,
store.
and they call her Miss Jeff.
And Miss Pearl.
And Miss
She was
Pearl,
Mignot.
Mrs. Pearl Mignot.
Okay.
Fabulous fabric. But if you're not buying fabric from them, not much going on for you. You know, it's school right across from Golden Grove, the old Golden Grove all-age school. You had Miss Punzi.
Okay.
And she sells some serious fritters,
Yes.
aka fritters.
Yes.
But and
That's
she used to
nice.
put curry in it. And natto, Lordy, I'm getting hungry.
So we are heading back into another lovely podcast, and I have two persons with me who are staunch. What would you say if you call like a Montagonian, a Kingstonian? What would you say for somebody who's Saint Anne?
Saint Annian.
Got it.
We better take it.
You asked me.
I just made that. Brilliant.
Right. So GB, you're telling me we're driving in the town, and you were telling me about prominent families who were living close to Fern Court.
I was telling people I remembered that street where we enter the school now, going right up, my grade 6 teacher, Vita Gordon, Mrs. Gordon, she lived up there. But she taught at Golden Grove all age. And her daughter and I, we were in the same class.
What about
at Fern
some
Court.
of the other names? Because you were telling me about this man who owned a whole heap of property close by, right beside the school. Yeah.
Beside the school. Oh, Mr. Paul, who had a truck.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Paul, just by Regent, you know, the place called Regent, where the prep school was. When you went there, the prep school was still there. Fern Court Prep. Right at the front there of the school.
Yeah, it was empty
Regent,
at that time.
Unlike,
Okay.
bus stop. And he lived right beside there. But all that land beyond Fern Court, back part of Fern Court, the play field, all of that was Mr. Paul's land. He had a truck and an old state body Bedford truck. And St. Anne was not known for piped water. And people would hire him to bring water to their properties, and they put the big hose and fill up the drums or tanks, whatever. He was not the most handsome man, but he had a kind heart. He was my father's friend, and children will be children.
Okay, don't it? So what other prominent families stand out to you in the region?
Well, at the time, William Hughes Supermarket, you might not have known about them.
Yeah, I know.
The Hughes, yes.
You know the Hughes?
Yeah, okay. William Hughes was the people who owned the supermarket.
Where was that supermarket?
In Claremont, right in
Claremont?
the,
across from the Anglican Church.
Yes.
Ivy, would you go to, you have ever been to that supermarket before?
She wouldn't have any need to.
We probably used to go in there, when I went to Franco, we used to go in like during lunchtime and stuff like that.
Buy stuff. And then we had the Browns. Don't forget the Browns.
Yes.
Brandon Brown. Yes. And I have a bias because Lenny Brown was my Sunday school, Methodist Sunday school supervisor. And
what did the Browns? Okay. So they
represented wealth.
Okay.
That I saw them as the landed gentry of the time. Brandon Brown owned a pharmacy and a soda fountain. And when I think of that milky stuff in the shine cans, I can't remember what it's called. Malted milk.
Yeah.
When I think of malted milk, I always think of that little place he had there, part of his pharmacy.
The other Brown had a store. I'd go in there to buy like my Mother's Day gifts and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Oh, like a variety store?
Yes.
Yes.
Where is this? And same Claremont?
Yeah, man.
Right,
The bottom of Claremont.
right
That
down
store
by
is
the
at the
clock.
bottom of
Yes.
Claremont.
Yeah, man. And you had fabric stores. You had
What the name? You remember the name of any of these fabric stores?
Mrs. Jeff.
Yeah,
They
but
never had names
names per
like,
se, just
well, you know,
the name
Mrs.
of the
Jefferson's
person's
store,
store.
and they call her Miss Jeff.
And Miss Pearl.
And Miss
Miss
She was
Pearl,
Mignot.
Mrs. Pearl Mignot.
Okay.
Fabulous fabric. But if you're not buying fabric from them,
Mm-hmm.
not much going on for you, you know.
Yeah.
And my mother
Who
used to
were
buy
the
for
other prominent
curtains.
store owners like that you would know about?
Uh, as when we're
I'm
coming
thinking up
just
the
down from
line
school,
Mm-hmm.
just as you come down off the hill,
on the
like
right,
on the left,
on the left.
just
Oh,
just a little before we reached. I don't know if you know Mr. Peralta. She married Mullings, Seymour Mullings, his brother. Miss De Peralta taught me math and geography. And right above there, you had this lady, Miss Kathleen.
ah, yes.
Oh, she had
We
the
used to go there
nicest
for
toffees.
lunch.
She was so sweet.
Yes.
And we, our uniform, law school had with 2 pockets.
Yep.
And like if we're going to get half term, I'd go and stock up on my
You go your pocket
my
then.
pockets by sweets from a pocket in my bag. Lord forgive me if I contributed to Mama diabetes, but she loved them too, you know. You have these chocolate eclairs, and you suck on them, and then they just pop, and you have a burst of liquid chocolate in your mouth.
Yeah.
Now they understand why I'm this size. And then we would go down in the town now at the same soda fountain come pharmacy, and you could buy your magazines, your Mills and Boone, also up at Hughes Supermarket, and you get it. It was a nice town.
I
We were
remember the
way ahead.
market. That's where everybody came to market
Everybody
from
went
that
to
area.
market.
Okay.
So the market was there on the left going down.
Okay. And what communities primarily would come to the market?
Davistown. Well,
What up in the
remember
hill?
now you have St.
Alderton.
Anne's Bay, so Alderton, the people back that side would go there.
Okay.
So airport went that side, and then you had Alderton, you had
Everybody up there.
what's up that side also. Yeah,
What buses would
so you
pass
had
through
Golden
in
Grove.
that
I think
space?
Golden Grove would come
I
there.
know Mayflower used to pass through Golden Grove.
Okay.
The
You
same.
had one early in the morning. So if you that's 6 o'clock, you're 5:36, and then you had one that came in the afternoon. Usually anywhere between 1 and 2. If it came at 2, it's late.
Okay.
And those 2 I
And
know.
I say I remember
the
my
blue
North
bus.
Star.
You remember you're not starting.
North Star was 3-4 o'clock. Yeah,
Evening.
in the afternoon, and we had
Or
good
early
times.
morning.
And then you could walk too,
So how is it?
and people were kind to us. The people offer us lifts,
Yeah.
and yes,
Yeah, yeah. And you
and
could take it.
and
You
Ivy
yes,
didn't
and
have
told
to
you
me,
took
Ivy
worry.
a
told me
ride.
about this guy who had a van or something like that, and benches were in the back. What's
Yeah,
the name
The
of
truck.
Yeah, truck.
Mr.
Mr. Tracy.
Tracy.
Mr. Tracy.
Yeah,
He was known.
I've
through-
heard of him.
Okay.
I actually know him because you said him in Claremont. I am trying to remember this man come from. Must be up all the time way. Shirley, Mr. Shirley.
Yeah.
He had a son at school, but it was older than I am, Donald Shirley. And he had a truck. We had quite a few truckers
Who would
in
provide transportation service?
yes, and they will give you a ride and whatever. Boys never have a problem jumping on the back of a truck
Hop
or
it.
whatever. Not the hopping part, not the day, but we'll get ride. Yeah, people were kind. Were kind, and they never took advantage
How
of
come when I
people's
hear
children.
when I talk about the fact that when I come from school, when I buy fritters and when I buy little things for eat in the evening?
While we had the last shop going to Golden Grove, because you have to pass a place they call Lightspan, that's Lloyd's Pond, and both sides is Reynolds property.
Okay.
The Reynolds property, and you had animals, cattle, just grazing, and you had fruit trees, but you had a lot of silver orange, sour orange, and some people pick them sour orange, and you had nice Parson brown oranges too.
Okay.
And if you have a sister who is a tomboy, go pick Mr. Reynolds orange. I never went.
Yeah.
I would stay over the fence and catch them. But I would never go
Aiding
under
and
the, because you have to, no, you
Aiding
have
and
to,
abetting same way, right?
I have to go under barbed wire fence. And if people want to make mischief, I say, the watchman, the man, horseman will come, horseman will come. I mean,
That's name?
they call them horse because they rode horses
Okay.
on the property for looking out for
So what about
people committing larceny.
what about like would you have any place that you could get like, like fried chicken back or like
That's the last place before you start your long journey.
what that place
Go-
name? You remember that name?
It's just the top of the hill.
Okay.
And on the left, last shop. And they sell fritters, they
What
sell
the shop
fried
name? Or
dumpling,
what the lady at the shop name?
escovitch, saltfish.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Sometimes when,
Yeah.
yes, the onions and whatever. Nice.
Do you remember the lady at the
Chunks.
shop? What's your name?
No, that is when I at all age school, right
Okay.
across from Golden Grove, the old Golden Grove all age school.
Oh.
You had Miss Punzi.
Okay.
And she sells some serious fritters,
Yes?
aka fritters.
Yes.
But and
That's
she used to
nice.
put curry in it. And not Lordy, I'm getting hungry. Yes. But you always had these people who you attach them to school and whatever. But it's after as when I became maybe young adult and so it wasn't popular to have people at the school gate
Gates,
selling.
right.
No.
Would you have people at
Yeah.
the school yet selling?
No, we had a tuck shop.
Yes. And
So we never, I don't remember any vendors at that time. We had a tuck shop.
In my time,
we didn't
for,
have
at
any
Southern Mayor,
vendors.
you had a lady named Miss Amy, and
Mhm.
boy, when you go to school early in the morning and you see water gun, and you see like, blue,
You say spend off your lunch money?
Yeah, man, your lunch
Okay.
money
Buy
spent.
water gun?
What? Yeah, look at you, man, you're hungry. And then you have, at that time for me, they really mastered the art of creating cartoonish candies.
Yes.
So everything, if you love cars, you have a car candy.
Cars.
You know what I mean? If you love action figures, you have an action figure candy. Done my money. Done my money. But the biggest seller still was June Plum and salt. And no, I cut down on salt, but to think about it like, yeah, that was...
I know of it, but I never ate it.
Was there anything that was nice for you in terms of school, in terms of food, like that you love?
You know diff? You know what a diff is?
Yes.
What's a diff?
It's a bun with the
Bun and
cheese.
cheese.
Yes.
One diff, Miss Cutie. Miss Cutie bell soon ring. One diff, bun and cheese.
Why is it called diff though?
Don't
Don't
ask
know.
me. It's a Ferncourt thing. Tell us about it. If you go to Ferncourt, you know diff. And if you go as far back as Miss Cutie, she seems to have been the main person in there. Good. And sometimes Miss Cutie, she had eagle eyes. And everybody, the big ones, them, and you quiet, And she said, come, move and give the little girl pass.
Are you see? So
Yes,
wait,
quiet,
explain
very
it.
kind.
So you use the word diff too?
One diff and a chocolate
We had it
milk.
up to my time.
Yeah,
Yes,
cherry
chocolate milk,
malt,
yes.
cherry malt chocolate drink.
Orange juice.
Orange. Well, I was not into that. I was into chocolate drink and a diff.
Yeah.
And when you sometimes the boys used to eat
Bun and cheese.
bun and cheese and patty.
Yes, some of hear people that I could never fathom. Have you ever eaten bun and cheese and patty?
Yes. Coming like follow up the boy putting them on. It tastes good.
Well,
instead of
cheese
making
patty,
cheese patty
with
now,
patty,
Yeah.
we
and
used
just
to
sweeten up the
open the
outer.
patty and put cheese in there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice.
yes, and tastes good. And I think we had pretty nutritious food.
Yeah.
Nothing to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Miss Cutie, I know I remember that lady.
When I was younger, I used to have a
This guy.
lunch box. I used to always carry a lunch pan.
Right. The lunch pan.
Maybe that's why some of those things I'm saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
forget
okay,
because
so your mother
you
packed your
took.
lunch.
Yes.
What
You
would you
took lunch.
what would she pack for lunch for you?
Well, she'd make sandwiches, chicken sandwich, cheese sandwich. I'd get snacks, biscuits and stuff like that. What else I used to get? Well, at a thermos that would carry my drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must ask you though, where did they get bread? Because bread is a big thing. Bakery is a big thing.
Man, we had Chuck's Bakery in St. Ansby.
Chucks.
So Mr. Chuck's, they still have Chuck's Bakery in St. Ansby.
Well,
So he
we
would
got
come
bread
up.
from Small's Bakery in Bamboo.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
know that
Wait,
name
but
too.
soon go back to Small Bakery. Let me just go a little bit on
Mhm.
Chuck's Bakery. So, what was that delivery like? What was the vehicle like?
All right, so it was like one of those humpty shaped minibus kind of thing.
Yes.
But they would come into the district. I'm not
Bread
sure exactly
van.
how often, but they would bring up the bread,
Yes.
and then the shops would get the bread.
Okay.
And if you know that the bus coming that time, you can get your own bread outside there from them.
Oh,
So you don't have to
really?
go to the shop, you buy it straight from the
And
bus.
it was a loaf of bread. It wasn't sliced bread.
Loaf of bread. I don't remember any sliced bread at that time.
We had
It was a
sliced bread.
loaf. I don't
We had
remember.
sliced bread. They had this bread.
I don't remember
I
that.
don't know. Welcome to St. Anne.
You hear them. You hear the
Yes,
sound. We
yes.
can't help it. They just come. I don't know if they have a
God's
time.
creatures having fun. They're going
Yeah.
home.
So if you hear the sound in the background, right?
Yeah.
They just come. Yeah. So
I've heard that in years.
I hear it every day.
I know.
Every night,
So
every
I
day.
know nobody about it. I'm just hearing it for a long time.
so
We had honey crust bread. Honey crust, you had in a red, blue. That was sliced bread. And it said honey crust milk bread. Tell me about it. Somebody, don't make me look old and
don't remember
stupid.
that one.
We had that bread and you could get it in brown bread.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, honey crust, milk.
Milk bread.
Uh-huh.
And the milk bread of later in Africa says just white bread.
Okay.
And then they had honey crust, you could get the whole wheat bread. Yeah.
Was there anything distinctive about the bread that you were talking about? That the taste or anything?
Just good old hard old bread, nice flavor.
Crust.
It's not like the white bread I'm getting now. To put it that way.
Can't walk
really?
there.
And then now you tell me now, what is your bread? What do you know about?
Well, I
bread
know that
company?
Small's Bakery from Money used to deliver. I think in our
Small's Bakery?
Small's Bakery. Taste bread, good man.
We used to have cocoa bread.
But it wasn't sliced bread, it was hard dough bread. If I
You
remember
remember
good.
you remember cocoa bread?
Cocoa bread.
Yeah.
Cocoa bread and
still
patty.
popular to this day.
Yeah.
It's a proper meal, right? A whole
What
of
is it? Just-
carbohydrate.
Yeah.
Right? That's a whole of
Cocoa
carbohydrate.
bread and patty.
Yeah.
And funny, I think at school, food was kind of gender biased. I don't recall girls, tell me, eating cocoa bread and patty. Cocoa bread and patty and cheese was a
Cocoa
boy
bread and
thing.
cheese, but
Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
But we would just have cocoa bread and cheese.
I must state this, right? GB has her book, Her Power, Her Glory, out.
Oh, yes,
Right?
yes.
You can purchase it on Amazon. She collects, a lot of poems throughout her years, and she's a historian. And as you know, she taught me history and English as well. So it's a very lovely book. You can purchase it on Amazon. I'll try to put the link somewhere. So look for the link in it. Ivy also has a lovely channel that you teach kids.
Uncle Clyde and Flock.
Uncle?
Clyde and Flock. FLOCK, facilitating little ones to Christ's kingdom. So the stories are Christian based.
All right. So if you like these stories or you just want to see more content from them, I have to big them up, right? Anyway, so we're going back now to our bread. So the bakery for you, would the bakery sell cocoa bread too? Would the van come around?
Yeah, man, there'll be some smaller
every
ones.
bakery would be selling
Yeah.
that. Don't?
Yes.
You had
Cocoa bread bulla
bulla
with ginger in it.
real
Yeah.
ginger.
Real ginger, not
Yeah, man.
and then
Because now the
big.
bulla them taste doughy to me.
One bulla big enough.
Yeah. Whole you.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
whole your type of food.
Holy bulla or not. Was a holy bulla at the time, but really, yeah. But bulla and butter, bulla and
Cheese,
pear.
bulla and
we had pear,
cheese.
you know, the pear tree. Bulla and pear, bulla and butter, bulla and cheese.
Wow.
And if it's also bulla, you have tea for sour mama sugar, make some sugar and water, and you make sure don't make it in anything transparent, you see. You put it in your mug that you drink your hot drink from Coke or chocolate in the morning. And sometimes when you finish in about quarter pound of sugar at the bottom, and then you break the bowl and you dip him in there.
You know, I should talk about the bulla and cheese. It reminds me when I was in primary school, we used to have lessons after school,
Yes.
preparing for
Common
entrance. So while we have that little intermission, we would leave school, go to the shop behind the school,
You remember the
and
name
we
of the
buy
shop?
bulla. Miss Vicky's shop.
Okay, yeah, man, you have to listen, drop the name of everybody because you know why? I know that the diaspora members are watching,
Yeah.
and sometimes they can't remember the name. So you might take it for granted, but when you say Miss Vicky,
Yeah.
I'm positive somebody will write something in the comments